Nobody warned me this car would feel like this. I used to think the 911 was all hype. I owned an M5, I had an X5M, I had a bunch of other cars. I always thought people were exaggerating. I've owned and driven this car for 4 years, and I'm still obsessed. I've heard people say they go deep in the brand, but I didn't really get it until 4 years in. Now I'm looking at other cars and I'm just kind of lost. I don't really know what I want. Because it all leads back to Porsche. Most people get bored of their cars. This car has ruined all other cars for me. And I actually like it more now than I did when I first got it. Well, let me raise up my front axle lift so I don't scrape the front. Even though I have no front lip right now because I ripped it off. But I still like the car. Front lip or not. A lot of times when you get a car, you know, you go through that newness phase where it's like, everything has that phase and it just becomes normal. Like McDonald's in the floorboard. After a while, everything just becomes regular, you know, like you just get used to it. You got the payment and then you're like, why did I get this? At first, you're so excited. You drive it every day. You're all pumped up. You keep it clean. You're shining the wheels up. And then after like a year or something, you're like 6 months, you got the Mickey D's and the Slurpee cup on the floorboard. And you're like, why do I have this $400 a month payment, this big insurance payment every single month? But with the 911, you get the payment, the big payment, and you get, oh, there's my buddy from the gym. What's up, man? Woo! You get the payment, but you get the turbos. Woo! And then the newness phase never comes. Or never ends, I mean. Never ends. Because you're up at 6 in the morning blasting to spoiling up the turbos. When everybody else doesn't want to get out of bed. But you got a solid reason to wake up in the morning. Because you want to hear them turbos spoil up like a bag of snakes. So get you a 911 and you won't regret it. So there's something a little bit different about the 911. It's not just fast. You know, I've had the 993 air-cooled C2S. Not crazy fast. It's not how fast it is. It's the way it feels when you drive it. Kind of like every time you get in the car, it's a little event. You're not just getting from point A to point B. You're actually enjoying the sounds, the feel. It sounds cheesy, but the connection with the car. The water becomes the cup. You become the car. So it feels like that sometimes, I gotta be honest. Especially with a manual. This is automatic, and I'm still fiending for the manual. Like I said, I had it with the 993. I want to get it back. Maybe not the 993 because it's so expensive, but I want to get a manual back with the 911. It's not about having the fastest car. That's the thing. It's not like I'm trying to have some car that's does an 8-second quarter mile. It's about the driving experience. Give me a 996 C4S wide body with the light bar across the back, manual, naturally aspirated. The thing's not very fast, but guess what? You got the turbo twist wheels, you got the rear engine, you cruise. Just enjoy the car. It's the engineering that goes into the car, the balance and the weight distribution. Every now and then you get a little taste of those turbos too. What do they got up here? Man, they got a lineup of BMWs up here. Look at this. Those are nice. I like BMWs also. Well, they got all kinds of stuff in there. What do they got in there? They had a 997 over here, a Cabriolet, for a while, but I think they sold it. I'm gonna swing in here real quick and see if it's still there. I have a lot of BMWs. I gotta be quick in here because the salesman will smell me and they will be on me quick, and I won't be able to turn around. Here's the reflection of the car in the window. I don't see the 911. I guess it's gone. Somebody snagged it up. Somebody knew. Somebody knew what it was all about. when they got it. It was a black 997 Carrera S with lobster claw wheels. It was really nice looking. So the crazy part about the 911 is that it's extremely easy to live with. You think that it's just going to be your weekend car. You think this is just going to be a car I'm just going to drive on the weekends. I'm not going to get to enjoy it that much because it's too small, it's too fast, uses too much gas, it's uncomfortable. But then you quickly realize it's the only car that feels special and usable, and you want to enjoy it and drive it every day. And then any other car you have, if you have another car, just sits and collects dust. Because this thing becomes your best buddy when you're down and out and you need a hand to hold. When Debbie at the office rubs you the wrong way, or Billy tells you you need your report on time, you get in your 911, spoil up the turbos, and if it's naturally aspirated, if you have a naturally aspirated 911, you just cruise. You enjoy shifting gears. 911 with the engine behind you, all the other cars start to feel a little bit numb, a little bit toned down, a little bit boring. You don't realize it when you're driving the car, but every time you get in and hit the throttle, you start to dislike other cars more and more. You start to realize what the other cars don't have. And it kind of ruins you in a weird way, honestly. You will find that a lot of people, when they go to a Porsche 911, they don't leave the brand. They kind of stick with Porsche. In one way or another. They might sell it. The guys that did, I'm telling you right now, they have regrets. They do. I know it, because I'm tasting that with the 993. And the ones that don't, they just hold on. Maybe they hold on to one of them, and it's tucked away in a garage somewhere, and it's a little piece of their identity from a past life when they were hitting the streets, spoiling up turbos or revving up high RPMs when life was easy and they let their hair down. When you're driving it, you notice the engine behind you, the sounds, the feel, the weight distribution. In the 993, you really feel it. You feel it when you're going into turns, but I felt it in every Porsche. You notice it, even in the Boxster. The 718 Spider, you feel it, the mid-engine. That's actually what got me. My wife and I went on a trip to Los Angeles one time, and we rented. I had an M. What did I have at the time? Yeah, I had an M5. I had a Donington Gray 2019 M5 V8 twin turbo. And we went on a trip, and we rented a Porsche 718 Spider, and we went on the back roads on Mulholland Drive. And that car's naturally aspirated, no turbos. But when I heard the air induction through the intakes behind my head, I looked at my wife and I was like, "Oh, I get it now. I see why people like Porsches." I was like, "Oh, this is like a different animal. This thing was made for driving and enjoyment, not to get to from point A to point B. This thing was made to have fun in a car." So if you're on the fence and you're thinking about getting a car and you've loved 911s, you like looking at them like me, and you go on YouTube every night or Google and look at different pictures, and you fantasize about it and you think, I don't know, is it worth it? Or is it a waste of money? Just know it's a dangerous game, because once you get one, you're part of an unspoken brotherhood, a bond forged in steel. It's like, no, you become someone you've never been. It's like, I'm just messing around. No, but it is addicting, and you go deep into brand. You do. You dabble in other cars, you want to get another car, you love different models and makes, and you drive them, or you think I can modify it to make it like this, or maybe I'll do this or that, and you come back to Porsche and you realize I don't even need a modified one. It's more about the engineering of the vehicle, the placement of the engine, the weight distribution, and the joy of driving the car and being into something. I know for a lot of guys, when you're younger, you have like a certain identity. Like I grew up, I was skateboarding, or I was a mechanic for most of my life. And then like you get to a certain age and you're like, who am I, you know? And it's like, we're fathers or husbands, but it's like you gotta have, you're like, what's my identity? And you don't want to put your identity into things, material things, but at the same time, it's fun to be part of something. Everybody loves to collect something. Everybody loves to be part of a group or a club. And I'll tell you right now, the Porsche Club is not a bad club to be part of. So if you're on the fence and you're thinking about getting one, don't put yourself in a really bad situation. If you're young, you should probably invest as much as you can or save, have an emergency fund, and pay off debt. But if you're in a position where you're like thinking, you know what, should I get one? I've worked my whole life, or I really wanted one. Don't think too hard about it. And you don't have to go out and buy the most expensive car. You can find joy in one that's not the craziest spec or the newest model. Like now, that's what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find one that's inexpensive, that I can add to the fleet, that I can enjoy with a manual, that's not going to break the bank.